All right, so it's Remembrance Day, and all over the world, all the nations which fought on the side of the Allies in World War One, we remember the sacrifices that not only the veterans of World War One went through, but veterans of all wars, past, present, and most likely future, by the way things are going. If it wasn't for our soldiers, veterans who fought in some very, very nasty situations, who knows where we would be right now? And so it's very important, uh, whether you agree with certain wars or not. The fact of the matter is, it's very important to stand by those who literally are willing and ready to give their life for their country and all those who live within it. And it's very, very sad that the government, which is so ready to throw those men and women out there in some battlefield and watch them die for their causes. It's very shameful that the government in this country is actually going so far as to put the priorities of leftist mobs like Black Lives Matter, which has nothing to do with black people, Antifa, and other leftist mobs ahead of veterans. Now, why would I say that? The reason I say that is very simple. Justin, whom I refer to as the tacky-headed tar-faced mackdaddy Trudeau, who is the so-called Prime Minister of Canada, has decided that Remembrance Day ceremonies in Ottawa are to be canceled because of the Chinese virus. He doesn't want people to go to the war memorial and pay respects to the many veterans who fought for Canada in many of the wars: Afghanistan, World War II, Korea, 1812. I mean, I'll tell you, Canada, I mean, the wars that Canada have been in, as far as I can remember, were very crucial. These were life and death wars. And if Canada lost them, it would have been over. I mean, if Canada had lost the Afghan war along with the Americans, I mean, and I mean, America's still in it, but I mean, we helped. I mean, if Canada had lost World War II along with Britain and America, it would have been over. We'd all be hailing Hitler. I mean, if Canada had lost 1812, there would be no Canada, it would be America. And for Justin the Tacky and Matt Daddy Trudeau to say, well, it is too unsafe to have Remembrance Day ceremonies in Ottawa because of the Chinese virus, which, by the way, only kills less than 1% of people who get it. And Sweden, which has never had a single lockdown ever, their cases are down, but Spain, which had some of the strictest lockdowns, along with France, they have to go back into lockdown, so they must be doing something wrong. But, you know, the thing of the matter is that they don't realize that the virus isn't going anywhere, it's here to stay, and we have to learn to live with it. But the only time Justin Trudeau ever gets that wrapped around his thick little head is when he's out there protesting at a Black Lives Matter rally. You all remember? Was it July or June? When the tech-headed Mac Daddy was out there, and by the way, his wife had the Chinese virus. And he's out there at a Black Lives Matter rally, full of white people, by the way, and a few sprinkling of foo-foo jigaboos who really don't care about blackness unless it suits them. Out there, millions of people, and he's saying that the Remembrance Day ceremonies are too unsafe. So these Black Lives Matter rallies, where you've got many of the times they turn violent, they start smashing up the place. I mean, it didn't happen that time, but it could have happened. And they start smashing up the place, tearing up the place, burning down the place. That is safe enough to go to, but the mackdaddy can't spend an hour and a half to organize some sort of Remembrance Day ceremony in Ottawa. That's too unsafe. Now, I understand that the mackdaddy, you have to understand, he doesn't like veterans. He said that they ask for too much. That's why he leaves them there languishing away in hospitals to just, let the rats eat them and stuff. He doesn't want to give money to the veterans. He doesn't care about veterans. He cares about plenty terrorists. And if you kill a veteran, if you kill soldiers like Omar Khadr did, if you kill the soldiers, he'll give you $1 million. All you got to do is kill a few American soldiers, hope to get captured by the Americans, get waterboarded a couple of times, and then Justin Tacky and mackdaddy Trudeau will feel sorry for you and give you a couple $1 million. Like he did with Omar Khadr. That's exactly what Omar Khadr, he went out there in Afghanistan, killed 2 American soldiers. Americans caught him and rightfully waterboarded him. They should have done more. I would have chopped his toes and fingers off. But okay, fine. And Justin said that the waterboarding was too harsh. So he gave him $1 million or $2 million or $2.5 million to Omar. Can you imagine that? So we have to understand, Justin Tacky and mackdaddy Trudeau, he doesn't like veterans. I don't know, maybe he thinks that veterans are racist or, imperialistic. I mean, okay, fine. Maybe you can think that way. But the fact of the matter is, Canadian veterans, I love all veterans of the Western world, okay? Because it's not their fault that governments declare war for one reason or another. And I have been very vocal against especially Middle Eastern wars. But the soldiers, these individuals from America to Europe to Canada, when they say to themselves that I'm willing to die for the country, it's not like these soldiers get a lot of things when they come back from war, look at all those Vietnam veterans out there in America, Detroit and in New York and in Miami and in Philadelphia, sitting on street corners. Look at how many soldiers are languishing away in the VA. Same thing with Canada too. A lot of veterans, they become homeless, they go crazy, they're on psychotic drugs, and they're as poor as churchmen. So it's not really as if veterans get anything in return. So when an individual says that I am willing to die, and if I don't die, I'm willing to really not get anything in return, and maybe if I'm lucky, someone will walk up to me and at least thank me for my service, I have to respect that guy. I have to. Come on, man. Come on. It's somebody who's willing to die for the country that I'm living in and not expect anything in return. And maybe if he's lucky, he'll get a thank you for your service from some old lady out there when she sees him in his uniform and stuff like that. I have to love that guy. So, but that doesn't compute with Justin Tacky and mackdaddy Trudeau. In fact, I don't think it computes with any of the politicians in Canada. When's the last time we had a prime minister that was in the military? Aaron O'Toole, if he wins, he'll be one of the first since God knows when. But, the fact of the matter is, look, these prime ministers, these so-called politicians, Justin Trudeau, Stephen Harper, Doug Ford, Andrew Scheer, Jagmeet Singh, Elizabeth May, all these people, they don't love Canada like the soldiers love us. I ain't seen Justin Tacky and mackdaddy Trudeau say he's willing to die for Canada. I ain't seen his daddy say he was willing to die for Canada. In fact, his daddy in World War II was riding around Montreal in a Nazi uniform because he hated the fact that Canada was a part of the British Empire and was going to go fight some European power, and he thought that it had nothing to do with us. So if Pierre had his way, Hitler could do what he wants, invade England, and then eventually come make his way over to Canada. Because remember, Canada was a dominion of England. So if Hitler invaded England, it's over for Canada. So these politicians should have no right to be disrespectful for our troops. I don't want to hear another thing about this Chinese virus. How dare Justin Trudeau say, no, we're not going to celebrate. If you can make accommodations for Black Lives Matter rally, why can't you make accommodations for the veterans? I mean, look here. I'm against masks. You know that, right? I'm against it. I don't wear masks. I don't plan on wearing it. I don't care. And I know that we are on the verge of people being rounded up and put in camps if they don't wear masks or take vaccines. If that's what is God's will, then so be it. But just let me play devil's advocate here. Justin, when he went to the Black Lives Matter rally, he wore a mask. And most of those other idiots out there wore it too. So why couldn't you say, okay, let's have the veterans rally, all of y'all wear masks? I mean, I'm not for that, but you couldn't even do that? You couldn't even do that. It's just we are not celebrating Remembrance Day in public, and if you do, we arrest you. Can you imagine if, let's say, the group which I love, Hugs Over Masks, decided, okay, since the Remembrance Day ceremonies are being canceled, let's make our own Remembrance Day ceremony out there in Ottawa. Let's just bring a bunch of people, gather them up. You know how many people would get arrested? Let's say, for example, one or two of those people came from abroad somewhere. And they'd be arrested for honoring their vets. But if anyhow they organized the Black Lives Matter rally, Trudeau would be the first to join them. So I am saying to the veterans of Canada, it's time for you to think of yourself. And I know that's not something that veterans do. Veterans don't think about themselves. I mean, hell, if somebody is willing to die for people that they don't know, for a country which, I mean, if they're willing to die, you really don't think about yourself. You really don't. But I'm asking you, if you don't want to even do it for yourself, do it for the country, because Canada's almost dying, you know. Listen, I think if mackdaddy gets elected again, which I think he will, that's the end. It's over. There's nothing you can do about it. So I am saying to the veterans, abandon Trudeau. Abandon the Liberals. Don't vote for the Liberals. Don't do it. I don't care if you've got a nephew who's an MP. I don't care if your sister. I don't care if you're what. Don't do it. Don't do it. And if you are an MP in the Liberal caucus and you are a veteran, cross the floor. And if you don't want to join the Conservatives, I'm an independent. I don't care about Conservatives. Sometimes they backstab us, so I'm not even going to go. Join any other. Do you want to join NDP? You want to join the Greens? You want to join Communists? You want to make your own party? Do yourself a favor. And don't allow the mackdaddy to disrespect you like that. Come on, man. Don't do it. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself, okay? I know you don't think about yourself. But there comes a point where you need to. You need to. And I'm talking to Liberal MPs who are in the military or who have something to do with the military. Cross the floor, man. Don't be a part of a government where your leader thinks that you ask for too much and he thinks that having one day to remember you in public with everybody there, that is worth nothing but a bunch of Black Lives Matter tacky-headed hooligans. Many of them aren't black, most of them are white, and I won't even go there, but they're more important. A Black Lives Matter rally is more important than a Veterans Day ceremony or Remembrance Day ceremony. I mean, a veteran who votes for the Liberals is like, I mean, I hate to give this example, but that would be like a black person voting for the Confederacy or joining the Confederate Army. I mean, but I have to do that. That's exactly what it is. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. So, and if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for the country. Because Justin the tacky mackdaddy Trudeau has not been a good leader. Nobody can beat me. Nobody can convince me that Justin the tacky tar-faced Swiftfoot mackdaddy Trudeau, the son of Satan, has been a good leader for this country. He's done nothing for Canada. Nothing that is good. Nothing. Every leader, even his daddy, did something good. He has done nothing. And you can tell me about, he legalized weed. He hasn't done that. You try crossing the border with weed and see what will happen to you. But then try crossing the border with alcohol and you'll be let in happily. So he hasn't legalized weed. I mean, you try selling weed, you'll be locked up, but you've got grocery stores that sell alcohol. So the weed thing was only a way for the government to make money. So he hasn't done that, okay? He did it in a way which was half-assed, which could help the government. But if you sell weed independently and if you bring weed across the border or in an airplane and bring it into Canada, your ass is going to jail. Not with alcohol, but with weed. Trudeau has done nothing good for Canada. Nothing. Not one damn measly thing. Harper's done at least something good. Chrétien did stuff good. Martin did stuff good. Mulroney did stuff. Turner, Campbell. I mean, hell, MacDonald with his racist self did good things. I mean, but Trudeau has done nothing. Nothing. Listen, Stalin did at least some more good things in the Soviet Union than Hitler, than Trudeau did in Canada. Trudeau has done not one damn thing good. So veterans, if you don't want to vote, if you don't want to look out for yourselves and just abandon the son of Satan because he doesn't care about you, do it for the country. Don't allow this person here to continue to call himself Prime Minister when he has not done one good thing for the country which you were willing to die for. And with that, I'm Michael Arana, everybody. This is the